Hey everyone, how are you today? Hope that you are having an absolutely wonderful day. I am so stoked for this video. I've been waiting to do it ever since it was announced that Kaleidos was releasing this palette. Oh, look at it, so beautiful. So this is what we're going to be using for my eyes today, along with, of course, a bunch of other stuff for everything else. Before we start, I have to tell you what I'm drinking. I'm trying a sample. This is from American Yopan. I just love the name of their brand. I mean, imagine if someone's asking, hey, what are you drinking? But this says Yopan, which if you haven't heard of Yopan before, it is a American herb plant, but it's not tea, but it does have natural caffeine in it, and I guess it's a very traditional drink. And they've sent me a few different brands in my Sips by box, which is where this one came from, and just like the others that I've tasted, ooh, it's really roasty and toasty, great for a cool day like we have today. Very robust. Yeah, if you like more black tea versus green tea, I think you'd enjoy the Yopan. It's delicious. Shall we get into this beautiful, beautiful thing? So this is the Kaleidos Flower Punk palette. This is the packaging it comes in. I love how it looks like you're looking out a window to the garden outside. The top just opens like this. Whoop. And there's the palette on the inside. Kaleidos kills it with their packaging, really truly every time. So this is how it looks. Oh, there you guys are. So the front is a mirror with all of the beautiful artwork on it. And the actual palette, the top is magnetized. So you can just kind of slide it off like this. And on the other side, there is a mirror and then your palette separately. And if you want, you can kind of stick it on like that, which was what I've been enjoying doing. Look at that beautiful, beautiful color story. So I don't know about you guys, but when I look at this palette, I see a quad, a trio, and a duo. And I also see a lot of really, really good colors for single shadow eye looks. I don't necessarily, when I look at this palette, imagine using a lot of these different colors together. I really see like separate color stories going on here, but that's just me. But I am gonna start with my eyes today. I always feel kind of crazy in the middle of doing my makeup when I start with my eyes, but I think I'm gonna do that in case I need to clean up mistakes with my eyeshadow with concealer and such. So I have been debating what color story I'm gonna go with. I think I have to do the green though. There's already a hair. A dog hair or something on my palette. That's just what happens when you have pets. Okay, so before I start though, I need to prime my eyes. As always, I'm using the Morphe one because that's the one that I'm panning. It does work well though. Okay, my eyes are primed, and I think I'm gonna go in a different order than I normally would. Normally I would start with a super light transition shade. I don't really have a shade that I would use for necessarily transition shade. I suppose I could use this shade, but I want to put that all over my lid. So that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to use this brush from Complex Culture. And I haven't tried this on my eyes yet. So first I'm going to go in super lightly, dipping into Golden Age. There, I brought you guys a little bit closer. Do you guys ever get like random anxiety about doing your eyeshadow? I have been lately. I have just not been feeling confident. Okay, I'm just going to pat it on my lid, like all over the lid. Such a pretty color. I am so drawn to this grungy yellow. Now that I've got it packed on, then I'm just gonna blend it a little bit into the crease. I have noticed over the past year my eyes becoming even more hooded. Like, look at them now when I look straight. They're really losing collagen around my eyes, unfortunately. Aging. It happens to us all. But anyway, I'm just gonna continue to blend that until, I don't know, I'm satisfied. I've been really experimenting with different shapes of eyeshadow lately, trying to wing my eyeshadow more out this way. But whenever I try to do that, I feel like it looks really, really messy and sloppy, like I have just not got it down. So I'm just gonna keep it to what I usually do. Okay, I like that. I'm gonna do the other eye. This color Golden Age reminds me a lot of Edge from the Subculture palette, which I love so much. And I do find it's really easy to use the top of the palette as a mirror. I know some people weren't necessarily a fan of it coming off like this, but I actually think it's nice because the palette itself is actually pretty heavy, and this way, just taking the top off to use as a mirror, it's not so heavy when you're trying to hold it up to do your makeup. Okay, how does it look when my eyes are open? The shadow is performing really nicely. The way Kaleidos mattes typically work, nice and pigmented, but not terrifyingly pigmented, and they blend out really nice. Typically, there's only been one or two shades from them that I have been a little bit disappointed in, but this shade isn't one of them. This shade's doing really good. Okay, now I'm gonna take a smaller brush. This one is from Morphe. This is the M210, and I'm going to go into the shade Earthship. And I just wanna pack it onto the outer corner. Ooh. What a pretty pukey green color. I like it. This is the part where I will often get into trouble, where I start blending the darker color into the outer corner and it gets a bit cray-cray. So I'm gonna try not to go too overboard. I'm just kind of swiping it towards the middle of my eye to blend it a little bit. I'm gonna have to add some more pigment there. Just kind of left the spot where I had put it. That's concerning me a little bit. It's not wanting to go back down over that spot that got all patchy. Yeah, I don't know if I can make that not look patchy. I keep trying to put more on top of that one spot and it just won't lay down there. At the moment, I'm gonna give up on that, but I'm gonna bring some of that green right here. Okay, now I'll do that to this eye and we'll see how it goes on this side. I love the name of this shadow, like Kaleidos with their theming. They do it to me every time, they get me. So I'm just gonna try patting it really, really gently. Not a whole lot of swiping, because I feel like it was laying down fine when I was patting it, and it just lifted up when I was swiping it. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Oh man, I don't know. A lot of times I don't like it until I finish the rest of my makeup, and then, oh, I guess I do like my eye makeup. So I'm just gonna continue with my little plan. There, that actually turned out better, I think, than that side. So again, just a little bit of that dark green on the lower lash line. Okay, so now I want to take this chartreuse color. This color is called Chlorophyll, and I'm not positive that this color will actually look good on me. This is the one color in the palette where I was a little bit like, but I'm gonna try it actually as a pop in the inner corner. Ooh, that's really fun. I don't know if it's coming across on camera as well as I can see it in real life, but it is seriously bright. What a pretty matte. I might even put it here on the lower lash line. What fun. Okay, let's do the other side. And I might even do like kind of tracing out crease there with that bright chartreuse. I don't really know how much it's showing up. I can sort of see it. Okay, yeah, that's unfortunately bothering me. I just don't know what to do. I initially was just gonna put a pop of Sun Gazer in like the center of my lid, but I'm gonna see, maybe I should put it over a little bit more to try and cover up that patchy spot on my lid. That is such a fabulous metallic shade, holy moly. Okay, so I'm just gonna press it in the center, right on top. Did it fix it? Yeah, I think that it did, and you can still see the darkness on the outer corner like I like. Perfect! I'm barely dipping my finger in the shadow, by the way, to pick this up. That is fabulous. Also, I do think that it's looking more patchy on the outer corner on camera than it does in real life. So that's interesting. There! Ooh, I think it turned out pretty despite the struggles. All right, let's proceed with the rest of my makeup. So I'm going to start with another Project Pan item. This is from Tarte. This is the Quench Primer, and I do already have sunscreen underneath. I'm trying to finish up that little primer, and it is almost gone, so hopefully I can finish it soon here. Oh my goodness, in real life, my eyes are so vibrant. Oh, I hope that's coming through a bit on camera. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of my NARS Soft Matte Concealer. I use the shade Nougatine just to help cover some of those blemishes. And I'm not really blending them in because I want the fullest coverage possible. And since I'll be going over them with my foundation or my BB cream, by not blending it, it can help them be covered even better. For under eye concealer, I'm trying out something relatively new to me. This is from e.l.f. This is the Flawless Brightening Concealer. What shade did I pick up? Fair 15W, and it's totally more light than I needed. I have a really hard time picking out concealer, and I have found that my biggest problem with this is too much product coming out. So I'm actually just using product that's still left on the little wand. I'm not clicking it again. There, and I just want that on the inner part of my eye. You guys will see how bright it is. It's stupid. I picked such a bright shade. See how brightened I am under there? Yeah. I picked a shade a bit too light. So far, I'm not a huge fan of that, not just because of the color. I feel like it kind of sits on top of my skin more than it should. Finish off the concealer, I'm going to use this one from Yensa, another one I'm trying to use up. This is the BC concealer, and I have the shade Light Neutral, which is a good shade for me. I really like the Yensa one. Okay, for my foundation today, I'm actually going to use the Purito. This is the Sika Clearing BB Cream. I have the shade 21 Light Beige. In the past, I have raved about this, saying it's pretty much identical to my beloved Misha BB Cream, but without the scent and a little less SPF, but basically they look the same, and they do. However, I think this stuff breaks me out. Today is going to be a trial run again of this stuff. I feel like it's not as bad as like the tinted hydrator was from Wet n Wild, but especially when I use it several days in a row, I notice my skin doesn't appreciate it. And this is one of those products that looks really gray when you first put it on your skin, and then for some reason, as you blend it out, it somehow matches your skin. That wouldn't go for everyone, you know? It probably depends on your undertone, but I have a warm undertone, and for some reason, this kind of gray toned product really evens out my skin. Yeah, I cannot deny how nice it looks. It looks really, really nice. I'm hoping that just by wearing it randomly here or there that I can keep it around until I use it up. Okay, next let's do some brows. I'm using my sample of the Benefit Precisely My Brow in 3.5. Again, as you can guess, the one I'm trying to currently use up. And I don't add a whole lot. I just try to fill in the spots where there aren't a lot of hairs and give it a little shape. I really honestly don't know what I'm doing. So take everything I do with a grain of salt. And then once I'm done with the pencil, I just run a little tinted brow gel through. This is the Essence Make Me Brow, and I use the shade Brownie Brows. Alright, things are starting to come together a little bit. Let's do blush. So I wanted to show you the e.l.f. Active Workout Ready Lip and Cheek Palette. I mentioned in a video that I purchased this just because of Hannah Louise Poston, and I have been using it a little bit, so I have a little bit of updates for you, I guess, on how I like it. I do really like the color. It comes with a highlight and 3 colors that you can use either as lip or cheek products. I think the first time I used it, I was mentioning to you guys how thin it was. Since then, it's become more tacky, more of a sticky texture that you would recognize with a lip and cheek product. But what I like to do is mix all of the colors together on my cheeks. And lately, what I've been mostly doing is just putting them all on my cheeks and blending them out with my finger. I want to try and use a different method today. I'm going to mix it on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to use the e.l.f. stipple brush and put it on that way, just to try something different. Yeah, now that I've used it, it's much more sticky. Like, can you hear? Yeah, that doesn't bother me though. And if you want to make it a glowy blush, you can just mix the highlight in with them, which is how Hannah likes to do it. I personally don't feel like I need that today. I don't need glowy blush. I might add a highlight. Ooh, I like that. That turned out so pretty. I feel like when you apply the shades directly to your face, it can take a little bit of more blending than I personally like to get it all blended together, especially when you're using more than one color. But this just worked out perfect. Such a pretty color. You could use obviously the colors separately. I really like the effect though of the colors together. And I don't mean to make it sound like these are hard to blend out if you put them directly on your cheeks. They're not hard to blend out. They're just a little bit more sticky. When I put it down on my cheek, I guess there is a tiny, like the tiniest bit of tack, but I don't feel like I put something sticky on my face. You know what I mean? Just to show you how this highlight looks as a highlight, I'm gonna just dab that on the top of my cheekbones. I'm already pretty glowy, but we'll add more. See how it just adds a nice dew? I think it's really pretty as a highlight. I do feel like with this one you could use too much in terms of it highlighting texture. I don't like to add too much of this. I feel like it kind of sits on top of the skin if you do that. So just a little bit is perfect. Yay, I love how it turned out. Okay, let's finish up the eyes. I'm gonna use my Pixi by Petra Endless Silky Eye Pen. I have the shade Matte Mulberry. I'm just gonna tightline with it. I can't do this on camera, so I'll be right back. Okay, I tightlined with it and I did end up taking just a little bit of it on the outer corner there. I like this, it's really nice and silky, as the name suggests. Next, for mascara, I'm gonna go in with the Ilia. This is the Limitless Lash Mascara. I love this mascara. This gives you the perfect fluttery lash. By perfect, I mean that they don't look super volumized or chunky, but you can still see them. I feel like sometimes the fluttery lash mascaras, they hardly do anything. The wand is kind of different too, so each side is slightly different. You can see one side is definitely wider spaced and kind of like a comb, and the other side there's like more of your standard bristles. I like the comb for combing through all the way from the root to the end of my lashes. I think it makes your lashes look really long and just fabulous. Do you see what I mean about how they're nice and lengthened and full looking, but they're not chunky? And they're not spider lashery. This is such a nice mascara. Also, weird point about this mascara, I think it smells like honeysuckle. I've never had a scented mascara before, but that is the scent to me. The only thing about this mascara is I feel like it's not a long wearing mascara. If I wear this all day, it will have smudged under my eyes. But while it's on the lashes, it looks great. Okay, I am such a fan of how my base is looking. I'm tempted to put on some powder, but I really like how it looks without it. I'm probably gonna leave it off. What shall I do for lips? I'm already wearing just like some lip balm. Let me quick wipe it off. I was kind of thinking of sticking with the Kaleidos theme. Let's try it and see how it looks. This is the Kaleidos Lucid Lip, which is their lip gloss in the shade Dramatize. Yeah, that's pretty. All right, I'm giving in. I see my glowy self. I'm gonna put a little bit of under eye powder on. I'm gonna use the number 7, the one that I always use. The number 7, what's this called? Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Finishing Powder, and I have the shade Light. Just to tone down the shine a little bit under my eyes. All right, you guys, what do you think? This is the finished look. And when I went in the bathroom just now to fluff my hair a little bit, I noticed that in the bathroom lights, the eyeshadow is insanely bright and vibrant. I would take you in there, but I'm not gonna because of the piles of laundry that are in there. And I don't know if I could hide them, but I am really pleased. I'm just not happy with how that shade Earthship, the dark green, didn't want to layer, but it did end up working okay. And I still have lots of the other shades to play with. So thank you guys so much for watching. And if you are also getting ready along with me today, please let me know what you were using down below and how the products are working out for you. I love to hear everyone's reviews, but I hope you guys have a absolutely wonderful day. I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye.